I'm not going to show everything, obviously, but billed amount, paid amount, that's the main ER visit, 7,651. Notice the dates are the same. There's one more that's still open. They haven't paid it yet. It's not closed. Another one here that is still open. These were just added, these three actually were added in recently, but these two today, that's why they're open. The main ER bill is now closed, and that came in yesterday. So a month after, the hospital has up to 45 days to file a claim. Here's another fun one, $1,118.34, of which they paid $282.40. This was from a different date, although sort of related to the same issue. And for this, it's just a $50 deductible because it was a secondary visit with the doctor, but again, the same issue, so not related to the ER. Just want to show that. $30. This one, $31. They paid zero. We do not. I don't owe anything for this one. This one was that first visit from the doctor, $359, of which they paid $216.88. I just had to pay $50. This is another one, $12.30, small one, $38, $13.43 that they paid. And this was another one, $12.30, $350, of which they paid $132.78. So the reason I'm showing you that is I wanted to go through health insurance in America, and we've had a lot of really bad videos over the past year or two. Recently, I went to the emergency room. This was right before the new year. Obviously a great way to spend the holidays, huh? So I had a stomach pain and I had a fever, and this stomach pain has been going on for a while. Chest pain, stomach pain, abdominal pain. It felt like my liver was hurting. A lot of stuff. This pain has still come back in certain, moments, certain days, certain positions, and I will be following up with treatments. But and it ended up being a hiatal hernia and something they actually found at the same time. I have something with my throat and whatever. And it was just influenza. It wasn't COVID, or it wasn't anything in relation, because sometimes, the stomach pain was worsening, abdominal pain on the left, on the right side, everywhere. And it has gotten to a point where I was worried, hey, okay, if it's worsening, I have my fever, I've got everything going on. This could be something serious, right? Maybe it's gallstones, maybe it's kidney stones, maybe, my stomach's exploded. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I went to the doctor before the ER, but then I got a high fever. It was getting worse. The pain was really bad. I was like, oh my God, okay. Just got this new health insurance that month. What to do. I was worried. It's, the first time I went to the ER myself in America, paying for it myself. Previously, I've been in ERs before, but this was the first time that it was like, okay, I don't have money. This is going to be all my responsibility. And I knew it was going to be, anytime you go into the ER, it's certainly going to be over $1,000. There's people that said, oh, I had a cut in a couple stitches and it was $3,000. And there's people that their insurance only paid half or even less. In this case, I had bad insurance before where I was paying like $346 or $364, I don't know, something crazy like that, where essentially for the 10, 11 months I had that, I spent well over $3,000. I mean, it's just insane, because if I, paid the whole year, we're talking almost $4,000 there. Actually, yeah, over $4,000 for something that was, there's HMO, there's PPO plans, there's deductibles, there's copays, there's so much that goes into it, and I was so confused. And I had the worst plan. I had an HMO plan. I think that's the one. And now I have the PPO plan, where HMO, you don't get to choose. If you have an emergency, it's kind of like, you have to have one specified doctor that you go to for referrals. And what happens if they're busy? Well, you have to wait a month or two. And I had a problem with my ear, and I had to go to the urgent care clinic, and it ended up costing me a lot of money, and it still didn't cover anything. And my deductible is $2,000. Now I'm paying less through my work insurance. Obviously, they're paying the large portion. And with that, I'm paying $250 for everything. I have multiple. I have dental, I have vision, I have life insurance, I have accident insurance, everything. I think it's $164 for this health insurance. Obviously, they're paying the most of it. But instead of $2,000, I now have $1,000 deductible, and it's a PPO plan. And what's crazy is for this visit, which There still potentially could be more bills because the largest of the bunch came in yesterday and 2 came in today, and the hospital has up to 45 days. But a visit that cost me $9,557.34. The largest of those bills was $76.51. Then the physician assistant was $1,118.34. And then you had smaller stuff. So if I go into the details, I had it just says emergency room, $1,490, a CT scan, $33.95. That was the largest charge of them all. A radiology diagnostic of $470, laboratory clinical diagnostic of $1,430, IB therapy of $145, and other all-inclusive ancillary services for $721. Who knows what that is? I don't have further details than that. If I go to the 11/18/34 for the physician assistant, it just says emergency department visit, high MD. Then that was a different day. The emergency room charge for $31 says ECG routine, ECG with at least 12 LDS INR only. No idea. The other large charge, $350, CT angiography chest with contrast and non-contrast. So that's $350 there. Another $38 charge, a radiologic exam chest single view. A single view, I wonder. $288 here for, okay, we got a lot. Whoa, there's a lot of stuff in here. $25, assay of lactate, assay of lipase, comprehensive metabolic panel for $30, the lipase $29, Iadna streptococcus group, $65, infectious disease pathogen. This is the, they were testing if I had COVID. SARS-CoV would be $78 there. Where, by the way, if you go to Walgreens, you can pay for $20 or even less for those tests. But anyways, obviously it's the hospitals, the emergency room. They're going to charge you a little bit more. A dipstick tablet, $7. A blood count is $21. Culture, bacterial, blood, aerobic, and it's followed up with something else, $33. And then another $81 charge here. Assay of triptonin, whatever, $43. Fibrin, Degrad, Jade products, $38. So that is pretty much everything. Yeah, that is pretty much everything from that emergency room. Again, there could be more, so it could be a $10,000 visit. And in total, only one of those, I'm guessing, I forgot which one it was. I'm guessing it was probably like the COVID test or something. Probably the testing portion. When I first came in, they tested me, and that's separate. And then you'll go into the ER. One of those I had to pay $12.43 for. Okay, so be it. And for the emergency room, it's going to be $150. And for the other 2 visits, I have $50 deductible. So total, all 9 charges, now we're over $10,000, including the $359 and $375, well over $10,000. I only had to pay $264.23 or whatever it was, right? For the emergency room only, $150 plus the $12.43, right? So it's crazy. I had good insurance, but there's people with bad insurance where, whoops, even myself, I had bad insurance last time. Because that $2,000 deductible, there was, once you go into the emergency room section, it was a lot higher than whatever this is. This was $150. I forgot what that was. That was, wow. And I know, I think they were planning to raise the health insurance for this year for that company. I have no idea. That is just for one person. I was 25 years old, and it's crazy to be paying such amounts of money. I'm very happy. This is positive news, very positive news. Nothing major from that ER visit. And also, even if it was major or not, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, if I had an operation or something and I come out, I'm alive, but I owe like $50,000. I already did bankruptcy. I can't go bankrupt again, 6 months later. It's like, what do you do? Oh, you can negotiate with the hospital. You can negotiate this. That's why there's billed amount, paid amount. That's what the insurance supposedly paid. So obviously, out of that $10,000, taking a look at this, the largest charge was $3,018 out of $76.51, then $282. So out of like the full 10 grand, they probably paid like $4 grand. Okay, so if you were able to negotiate down your emergency room visit to $4,000, or let's say, oh, you get assistance and it's $2,000. That's still $2,000. That's a lot of money. Now, yes, this insurance will cost me $164, and it's not the cheapest thing in the world, but it's a lot cheaper than these other plans, that's for sure. And what's crazy is on the healthcare marketplace, that previous plan, I got that from there. Most of those are HMO plans. At least for me, it popped up that way. And most of those had, there was crazy ones, $7,500 deductibles. There's some companies right now where they don't even have health insurance. My wife is working for a company like that right now. There's no benefits. There's no health insurance. She doesn't have health insurance right now. And there was, she was experiencing some abdominal pains actually too. She needs to, see a doctor for something else. And it's like we're saving up money because she's going to have to buy her own private health insurance. And there's employers out there that do offer benefits, but they only offer an HSA, a savings account essentially for, hey, if something happens, you have $500 saved up. Oh, wait, whoa. Turns out your visit was $2,000. Well, you're screwed. Yeah, you are paying for health insurance in the fact that through the employer, in my case, I have very good insurance, and it's $164 times 12, so that's $2,000 right there per year. Now, this does come out where I also had, there's 4 different things. I have one insurance where there's 2 groups, like it's Consociate Health for Cigna. Cigna is the health insurance. I don't know what Consociate Health is. They're the network provider or something. I don't know. And that is for health insurance. For dental, I have Sun Life. And I think for vision, I have something else. I can't even remember. They also, for Sun Life, I have like life insurance and critical illness and accident forgiveness and, disability and stuff like that. Not accident forgiveness. That's with Progressive, accident insurance. And with prescriptions, I have like Drexy or something. I used that recently where I did get a prescription from the emergency room because of the hiatal hernia. They gave me omeprazole PPI, and that was, I think, like $150 at Walgreens. At Walgreens, they had that little prescription card that you signed up for and gave me always like 20-30% off. Great for birth control and some other, normal prescriptions, right? So with Drexy, it was, I think I had 3 prescriptions because I had my tooth that got recently infected, and I had to get antibiotics for that and Codeine with Tylenol or whatever. And all 3 of those prescriptions, instead of costing me like $200, it cost me, I forgot what it was, like $25. I was like, okay, well, I'm thankful because previously I had to pay a lot more. So also with dental, I had previous dental insurance where I was paid private for that, and I think it was a couple dollars more. It wasn't too crazy, but they barely covered anything. So I went in for a routine cleaning, it was $300. I was told it should cover it, but it depends because dental insurance is a completely different ballgame where what they think the visit is, what it's worth, is completely different. So, for example, that routine cleaning, that's $300, they covered, I forgot how much they covered. I think it was like $47 or something out of $300 that I got a couple bucks discount, and it was like, oh, you owe the rest. $247. Actually, they covered even less. They probably covered like $40. That's it. I was like, really? Wow, that's crazy. And I was paying, for 10 months for that dental insurance. So I actually ended up paying more than I ever got benefits out of that. And I have a lot of dental work to do, and it was just crazy. When I switched, I had a cavity that was $300 done recently. Out of that $300, this better dental insurance paid $200. Yeah, it didn't pay the whole thing, but I'm only left with a bill for $100 for a cavity. So I'm happy with that. And this one has like lesser waiting periods. I don't know. There's so much that goes into dental insurance than vision and health insurance in America. It's absolutely crazy. I miss the days where I could go to Poland and I think I broke like a little, finger in my foot, and I went not to the emergency room, but it was in the hospital. It was like an urgent care night shift thing, and that barely cost me anything. I don't think that cost me anything at all, other than what I was paying like the monthly visits. So essentially what I ended up it was like the best plan I could get for luxury med. That's what I always called it. But I love that thing. It was $100 per month, essentially 400 PLN at the time, which was expensive for Polish standards. But you have free healthcare, then you have private healthcare if you want access to doctors immediately. And there was weeks where, after I had like pergablet issues and crazy stuff, and I was losing my hearing, I went to a bunch of doctors to get everything tested. And there was one week where I probably went 5 or 6 times to various doctors, did different scans, everything. This thing covered it all. It gave me unlimited access to doctors. Like, hey, I want to visit a doctor tomorrow. Okay, well, we have a network of like 300 doctors for this specific, for audiology, and you could go there, and boom, 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 boom. It was crazy. It was like I had no wait periods. It was insane. I used that thing like, wow. So I miss that. Obviously, I still have to pay something, but I'm very, very glad. Like, I was so stressed out when I saw that bill. The only problem is with this website, it says download claim summary, and then you click it and it's an error. I guess they updated like 2 months after, but so I called and they reassured me everything's all good. So just wanted to share some great news, I guess. Get some good health insurance, right? Find an employer that gives you good health insurance. The problem is not every employer gives you good health insurance. Some don't even give you health insurance in America. It's just insane, I'm glad that this was fine. Hopefully I don't have to go to an ER anytime soon. But anyways, if you have your own personal health insurance, healthcare, ER stories, please let us know. I'm always interested. It's crazy what's going on in America. Thanks for watching. You have a good one and take care. And if you are a supporter, please check out my other channel. I would greatly, greatly appreciate you subscribing out over there. Thanks so much. You have a good one and take care.